Shalom Aleichem and a good tavach, Shavua Tov to everyone. And we want to welcome everyone in this particular week. It's the week of the Chasana, the week of the wedding anniversary of the Rebbe Shlita Melech Ha'Moshiach with the Rebbetzin Chaya Mushka. And this is also representing the ushering in of the Geula Hashleim of Amitis, the true and the complete redemption, because we're told that the Geula is also a wedding between Hashem and the Jewish nation, Knesset Yisrael, and it should be that we should be able to celebrate it not this week at the end of the week on Thursday, on the 14th of Kislev, but now here, Techef Miyad Mamish. Amen. Second thing we want to mention is that today was a very special day. On a personal note, it was the day of the yahrzeit of my grandfather, Alav Shalom, my father's father, Rebbe Ephraim ben Shimon, and we want the shur also to be in the schus, in the merit of his neshama, Rav Ephraim ben Shimon. I am actually personally connected with him. I have not only as a grandfather, but a grandparent, but also one of my three names is his name as well. I have three names: Eliyahu, Eliezer, Ephraim, and this is my grandfather's, my father's father's name, Ephraim. So his neshama shall have very, very high and great revelation immediately here in the material world, a soul in a body with the Rebbe Shlita Melech Ha'Moshiach in the third and the eternal Beis Hamikdash, and all should be on a good and revealed basis, Teichef Umyad Mamish. This week's story comes and uh, speaks about incredible happenings, but the happening or the central concept that is encompassing the story is a dollar that was received from the Rebbe. When we speak about the dollars that that people received from the Rebbe, we're talking about years and years throughout the leadership of the Rebbe, and that we know. I personally had also opportunities going up, not only in the later years when the Rebbe was the Rebbe gives out dollar bills on every Sunday to each and every individual that shows up at 770, but also in Farbrengens when the Rebbe gives out dollars, wads of dollars through the tankistim, those that have the merit of going out on the mitzvah campaign and fulfilling the Rebbe's instructions in regard to going and having the reaching out, Hafotzes Mayanos, spreading the wellsprings of Hasidus all over the world to our fellow Jews, wherever they may be found, and even to make the differentiation, even to the Gentiles from the 70 nations of the world through the educating of the seven Noahide laws. Regardless of this, every year, we have the Kinus Hashluchim. We have the Kinus Hashluchim, the International Shluchim Convention that always takes place around the Shabbos that we bless the month of Kislev. And our story tonight is of one of these happenings that occurred this year from the Kinus HaShluchim, from the International Shluchim Convention. There's a shliach in Rehovot, and his name is Rabbi Borochov, and he mans the. It's actually an institution that he founded that specializes in writing for blessings and requests to the Rebbe Shlita Melech Ha'Moshiach through the Igros Kodesh. He has an exclusive institution that he opened up, and people call him every day, all the hours of the day, obviously not on Shabbos and on the holidays, asking for his assistance and guidance in regard to writing a letter to the Rebbe, a request to the Rebbe, asking for a blessing, and this is basically his major opportunity to run his personal Chabad house in regard to receiving and being able to go and to give the opportunity to others to receive the brachas of the Rebbe Shlita Melech Ha'Moshiach. Now, together with this, every year he has he's been going and taking his annual trip to be by the Rebbe, and the time that he found the most appropriate is the International Shluchim Convention, the Kinus HaShluchim HaOlami, and therefore it worked out that till this year he has been going 20 times consecutively. Year after year, he's been traveling to the Shluchim convention. But this year was a little different. What was different? This year he also had the plans in honor of his son's bar mitzvah that is going to be celebrated this year. And in regard to this, he also had in the plan to take his son to the Rebbe in honor of the bar mitzvah, that his son should have his first aliyah, to go up to the Torah, should be by the Rebbe. And this is very, very costly to be able to go, as father and son, and to be by the Rebbe for at least a week. And there's many expenses and so on. And he didn't know, he wasn't able to go and to find a way to bring about, to reconcile between his the trip in honor of his son's bar mitzvah and the trip to the International Shluchim Convention. If he would go, and he would have to go and buy another ticket and to be again by the Rebbe, and after all, it's not only that he's not going to be participating in the Shluchim Convention. In other words, he won't be by the Rebbe this year. He will be by the Rebbe, because he's going to be by the Rebbe together with his son in honor of the bar mitzvah. So it's not that he's like canceling out his participation or his presence by the Rebbe that he has has been doing annually already for all these years. But he didn't know. I mean, he had this conflict and he didn't know what to do. So he decided, what is he going to do? He's going to call up his friends, fellow shluchim, in order to get Atzas Yedidim. Atzas Yedidim is the council of close friends. So he calls up three friends, and he's totally puzzled, because one friend tells him that this year he's not going to be able to be by the Shluchim convention because he has to go to the Far East. He has to give lectures in the Far East, and it's not going to work out because it's exactly at the time of the Shluchim convention. Another friend tells him that unfortunately this year family matters popped up that were that he wasn't able to foresee, and because of these family matters, he's not going to be able to go to the Shluchim convention this year. A third one he called up, and this is a businessman, and the businessman told him that yes, I also go to the Shluchim convention every year, but this year I'm also not going to the Shluchim convention. I won't be able to be present at the convention because he has a very major business project that's coming to fruition, and he can't just pick up and leave it on its own. He has to be there hands-on. So he's thinking, and he's saying to himself, what in the world? What am I supposed to do now? And it was specifically, actually, through the third person, through the businessman, that he actually had received some tangible guidance. The third shliach, the businessman, comes and tells him, "Listen, I understand you've been going for 20 years consecutively. There's no question that as far as the Rebbe is concerned, your presence would be desired this year as well, regardless of the fact that your son is having his bar mitzvah and that you have all the costs of the planning of the bar mitzvah and the actual executing of going and being by the Rebbe with your son in honor of the bar mitzvah. But nevertheless, you still have this conflict." And the friend said, "Listen, what I recommend or what I would suggest to you is, since it's basically two matters that have to do directly with your relationship with the Rebbe, write a letter to the Rebbe. Write a letter to the Rebbe and ask the Rebbe, tell the Rebbe all the details that are involved, and ask the Rebbe what he wishes to instruct you in regard to doing, being by the Rebbe for the bar mitzvah, being by the Rebbe for the kinus of shluchim, one or the other." Very well. So our friend goes, he writes a letter to the Rebbe, and in the Igros HaKedesh, in the Igeres HaKedesh that he wrote, it was volume 19. The Rebbe writes, and I'm reading from inside, the Rebbe writes very clearly in regard to his traveling. In regard to his traveling, he's asking about traveling to the Rebbe. The Rebbe says, "Harei zeha nesia, behold, this travel or this journey, avur hamishpocha kula, is on the behalf of the entire family. Obifrat ha'isha v'hayilodim, and specifically your wife and your children. B'mili macheos," and the Rebbe comes and explains. In other words, tevosei higam tevosam, that your well-being is also their well-being. Your well-being is the well-being of your family. Begashmius uveruchnius, materially and spiritually. And the Rebbe ends off with blessings of Hashem Yisborach, Hashem blessed be He, Yazor should help, Shehadvarim Yelchu, that the matters should go mitev le'od yoser tev, from good to even better, vit utevasu b'seiros tevas, and you will give over good news. Wow. With such an answer, so Rabbi Baruchov came to the conclusion that obviously somehow, somewhere, some way, he should go to the Kinos HaShluchim. He should go to the International Shluchim Convention, and at the same time, the Rebbe has taken on himself the responsibility for the bar mitzvah as well. Okay, he thought it was either one or the other. So he now has the instruction from the Rebbe to go to the convention. Fine. So he's so happy with the answer, he calls up the friend that gave him the counsel to write the Rebbe. He calls up this friend, the businessman, and he tells the businessman the reply that he received from the Rebbe. And the businessman says, "Listen, I I'm so excited from the reply that you received from the Rebbe. I want to offer you something." He says, "What do you want to offer?" He says, "Give me your details, your name, send me a picture of your passport, and I'll make sure that you receive your ticket to go to the Rebbe for the International Convention of Shluchim." He says, "What? I don't know. I can't let you do that. I mean, I don't know how to thank you. What am I supposed to, how am I supposed to thank you?" So he says, "Listen, your thanks to me is not your thanks to me, but it's my thanks to you, because through this, even though I personally might not be going this year to the Rebbe for the International Convention of Shluchim, but I'll be at least a shutuf. I'll be a partner in your travel, in your journey, and your participation. And this is the way that I'll be able to do it by going and backing your ticket to the Rebbe, and this will give me also my presence together with you at by the Rebbe. The Rabbi Baruchov was very, I mean, he was tickled pink from the news, and he said, "Okay." Now, this friend was so close in regard to the whole process that he decided to pick up Rabbi Baruchov and to take him from his house to the airport as well. Oh, that's like, the whole 9 yards, as we say. He takes him to the airport, and Rabbi Baruchov is getting out of the car. He's taking his suitcase, and then, he's still thinking to himself, so what does this guy really want? How does he think that I'm going to repay him? And as he has these thoughts in his mind, maybe he shouldn't have thought about it, and then it wouldn't have come to it. But but nevertheless, as he has these thoughts in his mind, the friend helping him out with his suitcase turns to him and he tells him, "Listen, and when you come back, don't forget to bring me back from the Rebbe a dollar bill from the Rebbe." Whoa, the atom bomb has been dropped. Where in the world is he supposed to get a dollar from the Rebbe? And he's thinking to himself, wow, I mean, this is going to be like mission impossible. How am I going to find a dollar from the Rebbe? But he said, listen, he already received the blessing from the Rebbe for the journey, for the trip, and therefore he calmed himself down and he said to himself, everything's going to be okay. How it's going to be okay? That's already the Rebbe's job. That's the Rebbe's thing to make sure that everything is under control. He got on his plane and he landed in he landed in JFK, but not before he didn't get on his plane in Israel until he actually went to the duty free. Yeah, people go to the duty free. What was he looking for in the duty free? Nothing electronic. He was looking for a bottle of mashke. Yeah, he wanted to buy a bottle of mashke in order to go and to have a bottle of mashke to bring to have a Hasidic gathering with his fellow shluchim when he arrives in New York. He went and he purchased the mashke, and it was purchased in dollars, as usually they ask you for the exchange rate, whatever. So he preferred to pay in dollars, and they gave him his change. They gave it, and the bottle in the bag went on the plane. It's something that you have to claim afterwards when you get off the plane in New York. It doesn't go up with you, but that was fine. He gets off the plane in Kennedy Airport. He takes his bottle of mashke. He's going in order to pick up his suitcase, on the carousel. He has a nice hefty suitcase. So he goes over to the to trolleys in order to go in to take a trolley so that he'll be able to carry a suitcase. It'll be easier. He goes to the trolleys, and it's not like it used to be. Once a trolley used to be like 25 cents. That's the way I remember years ago. Uh, but today it's already a dollar. So he opens up his wallet and he's looking through the money that he has, and he's all of a sudden shocked because he took out a dollar and he was about to put it into the machine to get a trolley, and then wham, he pulls the dollar back and he looks at the dollar and he sees Hebrew letters written on the dollar. Now, you don't usually see Hebrew letters written on any dollar bill. What was written on this particular dollar bill? Dollar bracha me'arabi shlita milubavitch. A This is a dollar of blessing received from the holy hand of the Rebbe Shlita Melech Ha'Moshiach. And with that, he already solved his dilemma so that he would be able to go and to participate in the International Shluchim Convention with a peaceful and tranquil mind, without having to worry where is he going to find this dollar bill for his fellow shliach that gave him the assistance and the ability to make it to the Rebbe in honor of the Kinus HaShluchim. But nevertheless, these types of things, it's not very easy to find. It's not very easy to obtain. But there are people that have dollars that they received from the Rebbe, and these dollars, obviously, people don't part very easily from. And at certain opportunities where dollars were given to particular individuals. So the Rebbe said that if there are dollars that remain, so the person asks, what are we supposed to do with the dollars that the Rebbe gave? They're left over, so to speak. The Rebbe said, you don't have to bring them back. You don't have to deliver them and return them. The Rebbe said, you are allowed to go and to give these dollars to individuals for the purpose of a blessing, whatever blessing they might desire, but only at a very high amount. In other words, if the person wants to purchase the dollar and have the blessing of the dollar, the person has to go and to purchase it at a very high amount. And we're not talking about, like, $100 or $200. We're talking about maybe thousands of dollars. But this is the instruction that the Rebbe gave in the past, and therefore also there are people that are willing to go and to part from a dollar that they received from the Rebbe, with all the blessings that this dollar holds. But in order to go and to give this merit to others, they're not willing to part unless they receive in exchange a very great amount in return. So this is something that people can bear in mind if and when they need a specific, very great blessing, whatever it might be, in whatever faculty of life it might be, family matters, health matters, parnasa, livelihood matters. But and if anyone would like to be able to obtain such a dollar, so you're more than welcome to contact me, and Bezrat Hashem will be able to find a way to get a dollar to your hands as well. No, the main thing is we should, like as we began, we should have the wedding anniversary of the Rebbe and the Rebbitzin, together with the wedding anniversary. By the way, it's also the anniversary of my sister and brother-in-law, the Gorens, Ro'i, Shimon, and Yochevet Ella Rachel, and it's also their children's wedding anniversary as well. Avram Mordechai and Shana Goren. Together with all these wedding anniversaries, we should have the great anniversary between Hashem and Knesset Israel, the congregation of Israel, and it should be Teichef and Miyad, immediately now. Yechi Adonenu Moreinu V'Rabbeinu HaMelech HaMoshiach Chai V'Kayom Le'olam Voed. Amen.